What's up, everybody? You're watching Talk with T, and I'm T. Yep, that's me. And today, before we get into this video, I need everybody to do me a favor. I need you to stop what you're doing. I need you to subscribe and like this video. I'm gonna put it, let's try there, right there. Y'all see my scriptures on the wall? Right about there. I'm gonna put it right there. Did you subscribe? Hopefully you did. Today we're going to talk about something very important, okay? Today we're going to talk about the infamous question that's going on right now, has the whole nation divided, and the question is to kneel or not to kneel. That's right, I'm talking about that NFL protest. We're going to talk about where it began, how it evolved, and of course, what our lovely president has to say about it. And then most importantly, what's the kingdom view on it? Where do we as believers, as black Americans, as young women, young men, where do we fall into play with it? All right, let's say you have no idea what we're talking about. Let's pretend that you've been under a rock for the last year, okay? It all began with Colin Kaepernick. All right, so Kaepernick was the former 49ers quarterback, and during the preseason of 2016, he began to sit during the national anthem. He later transitioned from sitting during the anthem to kneeling. Sporadically, few people would join his calls, and when asked why he was doing this, Kaepernick said, "I'm not going to stand up and show pride in the flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color." And for Kaepernick, it was just that simple. Now, keep in mind the racial tensions, the many videos we've all seen, that have showed black men and women, even black children, losing their lives at the hands of police brutality. For Kaepernick, he was standing against those things. He was standing for the rights of those people, the people that seemingly didn't have a voice. And for many, he was applauded. And for some, he was not. And so basically, when his contract ended with the 49ers, he remained a free agent. And when it became apparent that he was not going to be signed and that he was being penalized for voicing his opinions and standing out against oppression, there was a call for a blackout. All right, so this blackout was asking that all black people, all people of color, everyone that agreed with Kaepernick to not watch the NFL. It was a call to attempt to hurt them in their pockets until he was signed. So anyone that agreed with him, anyone that, yeah, basically anyone that agreed with him was not supposed to watch the NFL. Now, I saw a lot about this on social media. Some people laughing at it, some people saying it was ridiculous, some people saying it was just too much, it wasn't that deep. And so I can't say from anything that I've seen that the blackout was successful. Um, that is until it started to hit a few more players in the NFL. Um, it was kind of like it was pulling on their heartstrings. It was like a debate between the person and the baller. Like their jobs, or their morals. And obviously, for some people, it started to pull, and they went a certain way. And that is, of course, when 45 jumped up and said this. Yeah, you read that correctly. The President of the United States called protesters, primarily black protesters, the NFL protesters, he called them sons of bitches. And you just have to excuse my French and my language. I'm sadly just repeating what I heard the president say. The president went on to encourage owners of NFL teams um, to fire and dismantle teams. He encouraged spectators to walk out of stadiums. He also went as far as to tell NFL owners that if they were to fire some of these protesters, that they would be seen almost as idols, or be the most popular people in America. The really sad thing is that in this America that we're living in right now, they actually might be. Um, so here we are, nation divided. Some standing up for the anthem and feel as though it's disrespectful to this country, the flag, and the veterans to not stand up. I do know that Kaepernick began to take a knee as a way to honor the veterans, as to not disrespect them in any way, shape, or form, and to make it known that he was just protesting injustice and oppression and not the people that have died and fought for this country. Um, on the other hand, the anthem itself, if you ever take time to listen to it, is plagued with racism and prejudice, and it's actually disgusting. But so what are we going to do? Do we take a knee? Do we pick a side? Well, I think the majority of us, whether we like it or not, um, we're born on a side, and we have to figure out if that side is is standing up for the things that we believe in. I think that as a believer, we have to know what the word says, and no matter how tempting it is, and I know it's tempting. I know it's tempting to riot, and I know it's tempting to get violent, and I know it's tempting to act out, and I know it's tempting to scream, and I know it's tempting. But we can't go along with what the world says. We have to know what our job is in situations like this. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before men in such a way that your good works may be seen and glorify your Father in heaven." So our intentions have to be good, so that our outcomes are good, and that everything we're doing is glorifying God. Everything we're doing. We can't we don't have the luxury to stand in our flesh and to get upset and to react. Because whether we like it or not, America cannot stand divided. Mark 3:24, Jesus himself says a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. We truly have to stand together, or we are going to fail together. And we can't just care about one race over the other. There's so many injustice going on with immigrants and Mexican Americans. There's so much sadness even in Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory right now. They're not receiving the help that they should be. There's not enough outrage. We don't have enough outrage for each other. And we can't favor one race over the other, or we become like our oppressors. So I think it's fine to take a knee. I think it's great to take a stand. I think it's our job to speak up for those that don't have a voice. But I say, why take one knee when you can take two? Thank y'all for listening. Y'all like, subscribe, and catch me on social media. Good night.